Good evening. Welcome to the 2018 Paintings and Pairings event. We're glad to have you with us this evening. We're going to introduce ourselves. To my left is Christy Clark. She's the Executive Director of the Insight Memory Care Center. Let me get this right. Christy's a licensed assisted living facility administrator. She's a certified Alzheimer's disease and dementia care trainer, as well as a certified memory impairment specialist. She has dedicated the last 15 years working specifically with those affected with various forms of memory impairment, their caregivers, families, and the community. I'm also pleased to announce that she has the honor to inform you that she is also the recipient of the 2018 Ruth Van Buren Award for the National Adult Day Services Association. The award was created in 1992 to recognize the personal achievements and commitment of individuals in the field of adult day services who have had a national impact on adult day services. Christy received the Ruth Van Buren Award at the NADSA's annual conference in Baltimore this past September.
Thank you. It was truly an honor to be nominated and even more to be selected as the award winner. So if you have not seen my heartfelt acceptance speech, those of you laughing certainly have seen it. Please check out our Facebook page. I have promised Robin I would not be quite as tearful tonight. Just a few highlights from the past year. Insight was selected to be included in the 2018-2019 Catalog for Philanthropy. The Catalog for Philanthropy, Greater Washington, is the region's only locally focused guide to giving and volunteering. Through a rigorous vetting process, CFP highlights the best local charities and their work to show what is possible when caring citizens connect with worthy causes, acting together on behalf of the greater good. Insight is honored to once again receive the distinction from Catalog for Philanthropy of one of the best small charities in the DC metro area in 2018. Insight was also asked to take on the Dementia Friendly America Herndon Initiative as one of our programs. We certainly hope to continue to support the work that has already been accomplished and grow the number of Dementia Friendly America communities in our area. So Insight is also excited to share that we are involved with a Geriatric Training and Education Award Fund grant, along with our community partners from George Mason University, to train others in Virginia on the Music and Memory program. Insight was the first adult day health care center in Virginia to become a Music and Memory certified organization in 2012. Now there are 35 certified organizations. I am excited to continue to partner with GMU for our newly funded project, where we hope to bring the power of personalized music to 140 long-term care communities in the state of Virginia. Now I would like to turn your attention to our Sharing the Care video of several of our families sharing their story of how Insight has helped them and their loved ones.
It was a long process to get the diagnosis. We still don't know exactly what type of dementia it is.
Nobody was surprised, but we both felt like a weight had been lifted off our shoulders because we didn't have to pretend anymore that everything was okay, because we all knew it wasn't.
Getting to a point where we couldn't leave her home all the time alone. She was still pretty mobile and still pretty active, but it just didn't feel comfortable.
The saddest thing to me at this point is how a relationship under these circumstances goes from companionship to caregiving. And that is such a loss. You know, you have to live with that one every day.
Being a spouse of somebody with dementia is very, very lonely. Very lonely. Because you have this partner you've shared, you know, everything with your whole life, and now you can't even talk about what you're going to do tomorrow.
So when we first got this diagnosis, I was all about, what am I going to do? How am I going to handle it? How am I going to adapt?
But it's really different when it's all on your shoulders, all of it. And you don't have someone to talk to about it.
I said, okay, two things for me. I want to make sure Bob's happy, and I want to make sure he's stress-free. And really, Insight has done both of those things.
I have looked in quite a few major cities. Nobody has anything like this. We've pretty much decided to stay in this area mainly because you all are here. And you provide us with more than we can ask for.
Insight seemed to offer something that was exactly what we're looking for, and be able to help her maintain the cognitive condition that she already had without losing it faster.
He really feels that there's a meaning to his day, you know, there's a reason to get up for his day. What I tell people is, it makes him happy. He loves to be here. It has brought out the best in him, and that, to me, that's the bottom line.
She's here with other people, she's very active. I understand she's the life of the party here. And she's happy.
It's been really nice for him. He comes here, he's stimulated, he's still very social, he's making friends. It's been good for him.
I suspect that as Bonnie's disease progresses, Insight will become more and more important to us as a place for her to be safe and sound and feel secure.
According to his neurologist, because Bob asks this question every time we go to see him, why do I need to be in this center? And he said, because you're stable, Bob. You are unusually stable, and it's because you're in the center.
He still tells me I don't really need to be there, you know, I'm fine, but I see him laughing and I see him smiling and joking with the staff and dancing and all of that, and I know he's having a good time.
He has really blossomed in the process of being involved in programs here.
How do I say this? I've gotten support I never knew I really needed. I have now a place that as things get worse, which they will, I know that people know me, I know that people know him. I've got my network that's going to help us through these next stages. So quite honestly, that's been the biggest benefit for me, aside from the wonderful people here, of course.
It's such a lovely place to be. It provides emotional, spiritual, and physical nurture. I've never been hugged so much in my life, and that's a good feeling.
It's helped me educate myself, has helped me meet other people that know exactly what I'm going through, has helped me to be a better caregiver.
I know I'm much stronger in my role as a caregiver. I'm much more nurturing as a spouse because of it.
I have a much better and much more clear picture of where we're going, and you know, what we're going to need to do and consider, and the options we have along the way.
It's been a happy journey, and gets better every day. And yesterday was one of the best I've had.
So thank you, Jenny, Carol, Robin, and Lou, for sharing your story, and to so many of you here tonight that support Insight in countless ways. I am so proud to be part of this Insight family. Now I would like to invite Matt back up to recognize our Excellence in Memory Care Award winner this year.
Thank you, Christy. Insight is excited to award the 2018 Excellence in Memory Care Award. The Excellence in Memory Care Award recognizes programs and services that are models of excellence and are positively impacting memory care in our community. Insight's Development Committee reviews all nominations for the Excellence in Memory Care Award. Nominees must demonstrate how they are models of excellence and how they positively impact memory care in our community. Nominations are judged on their own merit using a point system to select a winner. I'm excited to announce the winner of 2018 Excellence in Memory Care Award is Tony Reinhardt, the founder of the Herndon chapter of Dementia Friendly America. This year, we're beyond excited to have Tony and the Herndon chapter of Dementia Friendly America recognized for their instrumental work of creating awareness through this initiative. Tony Reinhardt is the owner and administrator of Comfort Keepers in Northern Virginia. Tony began the chapter to create more awareness of the effect of dementia has on the person living with the disease, their families, and the community. Tony's been instrumental in creating awareness of this initiative and helping to change the face of dementia. Dementia Friendly Herndon is currently the only chapter of Dementia Friendly America in the state of Virginia. Let's take a look at this video to learn more about this initiative.
When my father was diagnosed with dementia, and I started taking my father out into the community, I realized that it is not a good situation for most people with dementia and their care partners. Doctor's appointments are bad. Restaurants, if they're not familiar, can be a bad experience. Shopping can be a bad experience. And I thought, oh no, this absolutely has to change. Let me start a pilot project in Herndon. Herndon is a community that's really committed to being inclusive. So let's see what we can make happen in Herndon that we can learn from and try and spread it to the rest of Virginia. Our goal as a dementia-friendly community is to make the community aware of what dementia is and what it looks like, and makes the changes to make them and their care partners feel more welcome. I went through the steps to get Herndon certified as a dementia-friendly initiative. I put together an action team, which, by the way, this is not like I did this all on my own, because I have a fabulous action team working on this. But our goal is to get those practical tips so that not only are you recognizing that this person may have a cognitive impairment that needs extra attention, but you have some tools for changing your behavior to make it easier for them to understand what you're saying. And it's causing the businesses and the churches and the government offices to look at the people that we're trying to serve and think, how can we make these small little changes so that it's easier to keep those people engaged in their community.
Please join us in welcoming Tony Reinhardt, the owner and administrator of Comfort Keepers and the founder of the Herndon chapter of Dementia Friendly America, to accept her award.
Christy promised me I didn't have to make a speech. I was so afraid that if I talked and I started thanking people that I would forget somebody and offend somebody, which would hurt my feelings. So all I want to say is thank you so much. I did not do this for the award, but it's nice to have. My action team, there are members of my action team here. I did not do this by myself. There are people that work very, very hard to make a difference in our community. And could the people that are on the action team for Dementia Friendly Herndon please stand up, because you guys have worked so hard and I would be nowhere without you. You guys rock. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. I am really happy to be here tonight, but I need to start off with you with a caution. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Don't ever, ever tell Christy that you'll be happy to do anything she needs unless you mean it, because she will find you. Honestly, I did say that to her, that I would be happy to do whatever she needs, and I am truly delighted to be asked to speak to you tonight, because I have been singing the praises of Insight Memory Care ever since we became a part of this Insight family a year and a half ago. I'm here tonight with part of my family, and I'd like them to stand up, my husband Bob and our daughter Bree. So give them a big welcome. Actually, Bob, who is in the Reconnections program, heard Christy speak a few years ago at a class at George Mason for retired people. He was very impressed with the way that she discussed using music to activate memories for people with dementia. So fast forward a couple of years to when Bob was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. After it was clear that the neurologist had no expertise with Alzheimer's other than to be able to prescribe medication, I began to look for services and support. We attended a memory cafe at Insight, and one of the staff members said she thought Bob would be perfect for the Reconnections program. Thank goodness she mentioned that. The program has really been a blessing for Bob. He tells me that he feels like he can be himself here. He talks about the positive, non-judgmental atmosphere and the comfort of being in a room with others who have trouble with word recall. Bob loves the variety of activities, and he is very impressed with the way that the staff activates all areas of his brain. Now, honestly, seeing Bob so happy would be enough in itself. However, I have been amazed by the services available for caregivers, from support groups to classes to the share plan where Bob and I set priorities for his care and his happiness as the disease progresses. Now, I have learned along the way that everyone exhibits symptoms of Alzheimer's in different ways. I also understand that caregivers react and respond in different ways as they try to cope with the long-term implications of the disease. After Bob was diagnosed, I became convinced that we had to sell our house, get ourselves into a progressive care community with memory care services. I distinctly remember when Bree and I went to visit one of those communities. We met with the marketing person, and I told her that not one fiber of my body wanted to come there, but I felt it was my only option. So fortunately, I did pay attention to my gut. I went to see Christy, and I told her I needed her to help save me from myself. And that's when we went through the process of completing the share plan with her. What I realized was that the Insight Memory Care Center offers progressive day care services. I realized that our current house was actually perfectly set up for any in-home care that we might need. And I also realized that I needed to stop trying to solve the problem by myself and accept the advice and the support offered by Insight. Now, I tell you the story of our journey to this point because honestly, I can't imagine going down the depressing and sad path of this disease without the support of Insight. I am so grateful for the services and the support of this great organization. And I want others who follow us on this awful journey to have the benefit of the same services and support. So, what I ask you right now is this. I ask you to think about what you would want for a loved one who faces this disease. You would want an organization dedicated to maintaining your loved one's quality of life. You would want an organization dedicated to supporting you as the caregiver. And you would want an organization with the resources necessary to help you strategize and to help you problem solve at each stage of the journey. So for these reasons, I ask you to be very generous with your donations. Please, please, please bid early, bid often on the remaining live auction items. And my final words to you tonight are a sincere and a heartfelt thank you for the continued support you're offering to us and to the other wonderful families we have met at Insight. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me? Yep. First, I'd like to thank you for your wonderful support this evening. As most of you know, Insight provides an affordable option in dementia care. However affordable our fees are, it can still be too much for some families to take on. That is why Insight offers financial assistance. The past year, Insight has provided over $205,000 in financial assistance to 18 families to attend our adult health center. Caregiving for a person with dementia can be an extremely demanding job. 1/3 of caregivers report symptoms of depression, and 90% characterize their caregiving as emotionally stressful. Insight is able to help and relieve the stress and help caregivers along the dementia journey. This fiscal year, we anticipate providing nearly $250,000 to families through our Financial Assistance Fund, the highest ever. Recently, we were seeing an increased demand for financial assistance. As an organization, we are preparing for this increased need by looking at ways to expand and help more caregivers and families affected. But we cannot do it alone. We rely on community support in so many ways, from volunteers to in-kind donations to large financial contributions that help sustain Insight and help us continue to expand and grow to meet that need. Insight is committed to supporting all families that are affected by dementia and hope to continue to expand our support to more families in the future. Insight's financial assistance makes a huge difference in lives of so many families. Please help us expand the number of families we support and contribute to Insight Financial Assistance Fund tonight. Thank you.
On behalf of the staff and board, I want to thank you all for coming tonight and for your continued support. It really means a lot to me as well as to all the participants that come to Insight. So thank you.
It was a wonderful evening. It's been a really, really great to be a part of the special event this year. Insight is a greatly needed resource in our community, and it is because of you they've been able to expand and grow programs to serve more families in our community. We hope to see you all again next year. Thank you, and good night.
My father just wasn't as sharp as he used to be. He seemed not to be part of our conversations. He was more forgetful. He seemed sometimes disoriented. He was repetitive. So was it depression? Was it normal aging? Was it hearing loss? Was it everything?
We see people from, young adulthood all the way into their 90s, but we do see a lot of people who are worried about their memory and are starting to experience some memory problems, so they come to us so that we can help clarify whether this is just normal aging or a little bit of stress, or is it something more serious and something that needs some treatment?
And months later, things weren't any different. In fact, they were worse. We were seeing those behaviors more frequently. So my mother called the doctor, and the family doctor had a discussion with them, and the word dementia came up.
Yeah, that's a tough time when you're trying to figure out what's going on and feeling very alone. And it's been really good for me to be able to have the Insight Memory Care Center as a place to refer people for that kind of support. It's a very comprehensive program, I've thought, that can provide the education and make people feel less alone, and then the people to interact with, to talk to, and then also all the resources you have for the professionals that they might need in their lives at that particular time.
And we went online and looked at the whole website, and we found your educational classes, and the one that popped up was the first class that was happening in the beginning of this year, and it was, is forgetfulness a problem? So we read the description, and the first thing it said, is it normal aging or is it dementia? So we continued to read, and then it talked about the differences of the different forms of dementia, and then it was also going to talk about when you need to get help.
What we always try to do is start from the beginning. As we have new caregivers hearing about Insight, we want to make sure that we are starting with that initial diagnosis, carrying them all the way through.
So my sister and I registered. We went to the class. It was excellent. It was in layman's terms. We were with other people who were at the same phase we were. And we walked out, we called our mom back in Pennsylvania and said, you need to schedule an appointment with a neurologist.
I would hope for people that they could find Insight early in the process, as early as possible, and then have that support all the way through.
But if it wasn't for here, I think we'd still be wondering what was the next step we needed to do once we received the diagnosis.
And our education classes are free for the public. You don't have to be enrolled in Insight to be able to attend one of the classes. You can attend all the classes, and some caregivers do. They just want that knowledge.
The educational programs are so helpful. They serve so many needs, not just in terms of providing like the latest cutting edge research or, you know, professionals in the field getting the opportunity to share their knowledge with people that it really affects. But it also just gets people together and gets them talking and asking questions, and so they feel more part of a community that's there for them, and it's just an amazing resource.
They have a community of people that they can turn to who are going through the same thing, that can really understand what they're going through.
Learn as much as you can. Become friends with the people who come here on a monthly basis. They do become your support group as well. We laugh, we cry, we talk about our wins and our losses, but most of all, we all comfort each other. But finding a place like Insight is the #1 thing you need to do.